Have you tried strumming the guitar with your fingers and wondered if you're doing it right? Watch this video and I'll show you several tried and true techniques for strumming with your fingers, and I'll throw in a bonus at the end. Hey there, I'm Tomas Michaud from Real Guitar Success. If you're new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way I can get you more lessons to help you play guitar with confidence, connect with others, and have fun. There are several reasons that you might want to strum with your fingers instead of using a pick. Now, one of the reasons is you might find yourself in a place without a pick. That's happened to me several times. Maybe I'm at a party or on vacation and I pick up someone's guitar and I don't have a pick, but I still want to play. But the best reason to strum with your fingers is because you can get a different sound. It's actually my go-to method of strumming the guitar because I can get such a variety of sounds with my fingers in my right hand. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 different techniques for strumming with your fingers and your thumb. Now, neither are right or wrong, and in fact, not even better or worse. They're just different, and they produce different sounds. So you might find one of these really speaks to you, but it'd be best, of course, to have several different ones in your arsenal to get different varieties of sounds. They'll work on both an acoustic or a nylon string guitar, acoustic steel string is what I mean. And I'll show you on the nylon string mostly today, but I'll pull up my steel string just to give you a sample of that too. So make sure and hang out to the end because I'm going to show you some more advanced techniques, including how to get a Spanish sound. So let's go ahead and get started. For the first technique, we'll call it the thumb technique because I'm only using my thumb. Sounds like this. What I'm doing is strumming down with my thumb on the fleshy side and then coming up and hitting mostly with the fleshy side. I'm not actually using my nail on this one. Down, up. It's a soft sound and kind of even. All those strings sound fairly even. I particularly like this one when I'm playing acoustic guitar and I want to sing along. My singing is not terribly strong, but that makes the guitar a little quieter so I can overshadow with my voice. If you're a strong singer, that might not be an issue. For technique number 2, we're going to use our fingers. Sounds like this. What I'm doing is strumming down with, actually I'm only hitting with my first finger. Even though all my fingers are moving, I'm only actually hitting with my first. If you hit your second, it doesn't matter. It's the nail. It gives it that a little brighter sound on the way down. And on the up, I'm hitting with the inside, the flesh of my finger. So to get the feeling of it, just go up and down like that. Brush with the inside, down with the nail. Now my arm's not moving up and down. If it does, it's just very slightly. Really, all the motion's coming from my hand, opening and closing. And it's fairly relaxed, just as if I'm just opening gently my hand back and forth. I can do that pretty quickly. I find it's a fairly easy strum. Most people do. It works great on the steel string guitar. Now, technique number 3. This is actually the one I use most often. It's the most versatile for me. It's thumb and fingers. It's louder than either the thumb or the finger and just brushing up and down with the fingers. I'm actually using the nails both on the way down and the way up. On the way down, I'm opening my hand like with the other one, but at the same time, I am moving my elbow small. Don't do big, giant movements. It's a waste of energy and it takes too long to get back. Nice, small, concise movements, and at the same time, twisting my hand like this. So the two together create this kind of brushing motion. And that's what I'm doing. I'm grazing over the strings. I'm not digging into them. Now on the way up, it's my thumb. And I'm flicking my wrist up like this and hitting mostly with the flesh and the nail together, about equally. I'm not digging in with my nail like that. That would give a harsher sound. So it's down, flick, flick, flick. Part of the feeling could be compared to flicking water off your hand. My hand's relaxed, and then flicking up the opposite way with my thumb. With a slight movement from my elbow up and down. And finally, technique number 4. We're going to call it the thumb and finger technique version 2. Listen. So I'm using my fingers like we did in the all finger technique. I'm opening my hand and brushing the strings with my nail on the way down, and then up with the flesh. But I start off the strum with the thumb, the flesh part of my thumb, hitting either a single bass note or the bass strings in general. Doesn't have to be a single bass note. So I usually do that on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It gives it a kind of a galloping sound almost like horses. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. That's my interpretation. You have, whatever it sounds like to you is fine. And it is a distinctly different sound than any of the other strums. Let me show you just a quick example of using each of the techniques with a chord pattern. I'm going to be using a G to a G with a C. I'm leaving the third finger on the G note, making a C chord with the rest of my fingers, and then going to a D, and then to an A minor. So here's what the first one sounds like. Technique number 2. Technique number 3. And technique number 4. Okay, as promised, here's your bonus techniques. Now the first one I call a mute strum. Sounds like this. This is a very common strum and a very popular one. So what I'm doing is that basic technique of going down with my fingernails, I call it technique number 3, and then up with my thumb, but I'm adding a mute. That mute is me muting the strings with my right palm at the same time that I open my hand. So it sounds like this together. Down, up, mute. And then up after the mute. Down, up, mute. Up, down, up, mute. Notice I'm opening my hand. At the same time I palm them, and I'm making a kind of a clicking sound. So this next bonus technique, we're going to add some bass notes to our strum. We're using basically the thumb finger version of the strum, but adding bass notes using the thumb. So something like this. So it's a little tricky. You got to get your thumb in there to make the bass note, and then the fingers are strumming the chord. I'm using the nail on the outside and the flesh on the inside with my fingers. Now for a little Spanish sound. This one uses the 3 fingers like this. I'm doing one finger at a time, starting with my 3rd finger, and I'm flicking them out against the strings. And they're separated enough so you can... That's a little too slow, but that's what it would sound like slow. Together, just enough separation to hear it as what they call rasgueado. Now, part of the trick here is get your fingers sort of tucked up into your palm and then flick them out. I'm kind of like brushing out on each of the fingers one at a time, a drop of water. And now for the final technique. This is the Rumba flamenco strum, another very common Spanish-sounding strum using the hands, made probably most popular by the Gypsy Kings, at least in the U.S. In Spain, it's a common strum. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going down with my fingers, up with my thumb, again down with the fingers, and then as I come up with my thumb again, I'm flattening out the hand and muting the strings. So this is the first half. Down, up, down. I'm flicking my thumb up and muting the strings. Down, up, down. If I were counting it, it'd be 1 and 2 and. 3 is a pause, and then I'm coming up with my fingers, and 4 and. So the last half is pause and down, up. Pause and 4 and. Altogether it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and. Pause and 4 and. That pause is also 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this strum is so popular that I made a whole video lesson on it to help show you very detailed how to play it. So if you're interested in this, I'll put a description down below so you can get to that lesson. So that's it for this lesson. I hope you had fun with this. Hey, give them a try, and then let me know your experience in the comments below. Just let me know if you found it hard, easy, if you seem like you're getting any better at it, or if it's something you just are not interested in, it didn't work out for you. I'd love to know. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video if you liked it. Thanks.